That was weird. My live just... Y'all. Yo, my live just cut off, y'all. Just cut off. Yo. That's crazy. So y'all come on back in here. My live just decided to cut off. Yo, I be making devils mad, y'all. How I get that? Ooh, staying away from negative people. Yo, my live just cut off, y'all. I'm gonna do it. She's gonna make me elevate. So anyway, y'all. So I noticed that like everybody think that because I am well put together that that's all I care about. And I'm like, bitch, I could care less. She telling me how much she traveled and da-da-da. I'm like, bitch, I ain't even worked all summer. I'm just happy to go to the beach because the beach is free. People be swearing. Then they want to talk about how much they weave costs. Bitch, I don't care. I ain't even bought no hair in years. Like, I be recycling, y'all. She thrifty. Because I got other things to worry about, right? I got other things to worry about. Like what God is trying to tell me. Like people act like they jobs want to let you go. I be like, I will sit in this house and talk to Jesus. Shit. Ooh. But anyway, I be like, y'all don't. They want to do money magic and all. Fuck my money. I don't give a fuck about working. I live on a budget. God bless my kids. And I'm like, you know what? I'll ride this shit out. But anyway, I just feel like, what he trying to tell me? He trying to tell me that it's about, he trying to tell me I'm the highest in the room and niggas is jealous. That's what he trying to tell me. He trying to tell me I'm the highest in the room and niggas is jealous because even when I'm recycling shit, even when y'all don't know what my shit is looking like, I'm stepping out looking like, ugh. Like, I still make people feel intimidated. And I'm just like, I'm here to get on the floor and play with some kids and color. Like, bitch, I don't care how much your weave costs. Like, I don't care where you shop for your child. Carter, what? My kids never had name brand shit. They was cute. They sneakers was name brand. I never been a name brand whore. I never bought a pair of Jordans ever. But my son got his first pair of Jordans, and bless God for my kids that were so humble. They didn't care. Like, my kids stayed cute. But I was a single mom. I was like, I don't know how these bitches do it. Like, I'm not about to spend. I'm not doing it. I'm still not doing it. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I must have took a vow to be, like, really thrifty in this lifetime. Because my son be like, oh my God, my son drops so much money. Like, my kids give me a headache sometimes how much money they spend. But I'm just in a different mindset. Like, I care about shit of substance. Like, she told me that she was, like, taking elderberry and working out and shit. Because she was explaining, like, why she's not, I don't know, like, I guess why she ain't shaped like me. Bitch, I don't care. And the thing is, I gave her a compliment. I be trying to make these hoes feel comfortable. It don't work. They still feel the need to sit up there and tell, oh, and I traveled and I went here. I'm like, bitch, I don't care. Like, I'm not impressed. Like, I'm not running after that life. Like, I'm not running after the fast life. I'm not running after, ooh, this, that. I could care less. Y'all, I could care less about a name brand, honestly. I think people waste their money, honestly. I'd rather put my money towards something that makes sense. So, yeah, I just find it, and it's like, it's uncomfortable, because I'm just like, I just want to be me. Like, when people start comparing themselves to me, like, I'm just like, here come the rain, here come the jealousy, like, here come the envy. Like, I just be like, okay. Now, she told me that she was working out, and when she got COVID, she didn't get sick because she was doing this and that. Like, bitch, talk to me about how you kick COVID's ass. Like, I don't care about how much money you spend, and like, yo, I just think that shit is so whack. And I feel like if women do it, dudes probably do it too. And like, we just all need to stay in our lane and figure out who it is that we are and who God called us to be and walk in that, right? Like, people, when I walk in a room, people judge me from head to toe. Yeah, I don't come in here dressed down. I don't come in here in leggings. Sometimes I'm dressed down. Sometimes I'm not. But I dress like how I want to fucking feel, right? So if I want to come in with a damn moon skirt on, I'm going to come in here and twirling with a moon skirt on, right? But I don't got time to sit up there and talk about how much my weave is. And then the bitch was like, she was like, yeah, because my real hair is probably the length of your weave. I said, oh, I just play them like the little babies that need a little pat on their head. I just pat them on their little fucking head and send them on their way. I'm just like, yo, come to me with substance. Come to me with substance. And the thing is, like, people that got substance, you know they got substance. Because, like, what they say, they stand on it. Like, they not going to say some heavy shit one day and then got some punk-ass bullshit on they status the next day. Like, no, your shit should be consistent, right? So anybody that want to talk shit or have something to say about me, my shit is consistent, though. Like, I've been the same bitch, right? I've been talking about the same shit, right? So yeah, y'all. But let me tell y'all why I love this pre-K class. I literally saw the teacher sit down and do conflict resolution with pre-Ks. I was like, yo, if we did more of that, it would be less overly emotional people in the world. They was in an argument. The teacher sat down and they in pre-K, y'all. She sat down and made them have a conversation with each other. Yo, I was loving, y'all know I was loving this shit, right? So she sits them down and she was like, you know, why are y'all upset with each other? So he was like, so she was like, tell me. So she asked the little boy, and he was like, she keeps telling me what to do. So then she was like, well, why do you keep telling him what to do? So she was like, well, da-da-da-da. So she made them talk it out. So at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, basically he was like, well, I just want to play with somebody else today, right? So she was like, well, I want to play with you today. The teacher was like, well, it's fair if he doesn't want to play with you today, which is true. Like, if we taught our kids that, we would probably have less people out here doing spell work and shit, because people would know that, like, people can make their own choices. You know what I'm saying? So the little boy was like, I just wanted to play with such and such, right? So the teacher told her, and she was like, well, that's fair. So how do you feel about it? So she was like, I'm sad. The teacher said, she was like, it's fine. That's fair. You can feel sad. But the reality is, you played with such and such all yesterday. So, like, just because you want to play with such and such today, like, he don't have to want to play with you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take it like a big girl. So the teacher told her, so she was so upset, right? So she was crying. So the teacher basically told her, right, and it was so sweet, but I was just like, yo, like, man, teaching kids emotional intelligence so that they can grow up to be emotionally intelligent adults, it's priceless, right? So she told the little girl, she was like, what he said is fair and valid. She was like, and you can feel how, you can feel what it is that you want to feel. So she was crying. She was like, you can cry. She said, you can cry. You can feel how you want to feel. She was like, go. She sent her to go sit by the emotional wall, right? So the emotional wall got all these emotions, right? So they can figure out how they feeling. We need these for adults. So she was like, go and cry, and basically like, go get it out, bitch. Cry. Because it's not going to change how he feels, and he can feel how it is that he wants to feel. It's a fair feeling. So you just going to have to cry it out, get it out, and then, get it together. I said, yo, I love it. I love it. Emotionally intelligent children grow up to be emotionally intelligent adults. Some of us wouldn't have the problems that we had if our emotions were nurtured when we were children. So she sent her over to the little corner. She was crying. Oh, I was so sad. She was crying her little heart out. And the thing is, like, that's how God taught me how to deal with people. Like, you got to accept people for who they are. And, like, yeah, it feels fucked up because you feel rejected, right? Like, oh. But the reality is, like, they can make whatever decisions that they choose to make. And you just got to deal with your own emotions. That's your job. To deal with your emotions about what it is that they're asking you for that's fair, right? So she went over there. She was crying. And I just wanted to go talk to her. So she was crying. I saw her. Look, she was like, you can grab. They got these little squishy balls things, and they like happy faces, right? She was like, you can hold the happy. She told her you can hold the happy face emoji, cry it out, and get your like, booski. But of course, I'm telling it like in a funny way, but it was dope, right? It was dope. So she was sitting over there. She cried for a while. Then she looked at the wall. And the wall will tell you, because it was something else that she asked her. And what I love about that teacher is she asks the kids to identify the emotion that they're feeling, right? So on the emotional wall, it had embarrassed, rejected, sad, happy. So she literally, after she was crying and realizing that, like, I'm feeling all these emotions, then you can tell she was looking at the wall so she can identify what the emotion was so she can go head on and get past it. So we need to do that as adults, right? We need to figure out what the hell the emotion is that we are feeling. And then we need to deal with ourselves, because a lot of times what we do is when we're feeling emotional about something, we lash out on a person that we're talking to or whoever is closest to us, when really, and like we be making it their fault, and like, really, like, it ain't their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gone through stuff, and Pootie is the closest one to me, and because she didn't react a certain way or do a certain thing or whatever the case may be, like, I can act like she's the issue, but no, like, I gotta figure out, like, deep down inside, like, what is the issue? Like, what am I feeling about this particular situation, right? And I feel like if we did a lot more of that, we would do less lashing out, right? Like, if we could just be like, you know what? When you said such and such and such and such, it really hurt my feelings, right? Versus all of the craziness that we spill out of us like a damn volcano that's really painful and unnecessary and hurtful to the person that we're talking to. Versus being able to articulate and say, hey, you know, whenever you blah, 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 I felt rejected, or I felt like I wasn't good enough. Like, I felt like I didn't do enough for you to deserve your adoration and your love. Like, I felt, you know what I'm saying? And even if you don't have these conversations with that particular person, being able to have that dialogue within yourself. Because first of all, you got to have it within yourself before you go have it with that particular person. Oftentimes, because it's normally a better conversation after you've already processed it within yourself. Like, and naming your emotions is so important. Like, that's how you start to realize that, like, I'm not lonely. I may be alone, but I'm not lonely, right? That's how you realize that, like, I am enough, although I was not the choice. You know what I'm saying? And being able to label our emotions. I'm feeling rejected right now because of this situation, right? And then sometimes, too, you'll start to notice that once you start to label your emotions, you will realize that sometimes your emotions don't appropriate for the particular situation, right? Like, I've had situations where it was a disagreement or an argument or something, like a disagreement, and I felt so rejected, but it wasn't, but when I went back through my mind, like, the incident had nothing to do with rejection, right? So then I have to internalize and go within myself and ask myself, well, why do I feel rejected because this particular thing happened, when this has nothing to do with actually being rejected, right? And that's how we start to kind of like, that's called shadow work, right? That's when you start kind of like following the rabbit down the rabbit hole, and you kind of get all the way to the hurt, and then you realize what's hurting and why it's hurting, and you can kind of start to appropriate people and emotions in your life a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys, so that was Tales from Kindergarten, pre-K if you will. Shit the silly bitches say. We talked about the 5 love languages. And I talked about the importance of having a bucket list, right? I also talked about how sex with the wrong sex partner can cause you to absorb karma that's not yours. Because some people are well versed in their sex magicianry, and they know how to utilize sexual partners to offset their karma. I want y'all to do y'all research on that. And I want y'all to be careful. Okay. Let me make sure I ain't forget nothing. Oh. We got to talk about how your yeses get you, how all your no's get you to your yeses. We're going to talk about that real fast, right? So we talked about the 5 love languages, right? So the way that all your no's get you to your yeses is basically simply this. Once you start to realize your value and who it is that you are and whose it is that you are, right? And you start to realize all the things that God has for you, right? And you start to realize that you deserve the very, very best. You start to reject anything, and I do mean anything. You start to reject anything that doesn't look like your ideal life, right? You start to reject anything that doesn't look like what you told the universe that you had wanted, right? Those are your no's. When you start to reject the things that you're just like, yeah, nah, that doesn't really fit in with what it is that I want or what it is that I'm looking for in my life right now. But that requires you first having a conversation with yourself about what it is that you really want right now and what it is that you're looking for out of your relationships. Because a lot of times we're not intentional enough in life, so we don't know how to demand what it is that we want, because we don't even know what it is that we want because we ain't took the time to sit down and think about it. So I want y'all to figure out what it is that you want, right? So every time something that you don't want coming lurking around, you can say no. You can say reject that. You can say yeah or nah, right? Those are your no's. Your nah. Out pass. And as you do that, universal law will allow the things that you want to start to come into your frequency, right? Because you're clear about what you don't want, so you're rejecting those things, right? So as you reject those things, you make space and room for the things you want to come into your vicinity, into your frequency, if you will. So yeah, y'all, I want y'all to mind your nose. And I want you to be okay with saying, no. No. Hey, boo! I love you. And you better be giving out some no's, you sweet baby. Hey, Akeisha! Boo, I look like you with my blonde hair. Ew. So yeah, y'all. I was about to get off of here. We talked about the 5 love languages. Akeisha, I talked about the silly shit that women say whenever they meet you just because you're well put together. And now they want to talk about how much money they spend on their clothes and their hair. And meanwhile, you don't care nothing about material shit. You just trying to please the Lord and work your job and manifest your dream life, right? And my dream life has less to do with spending money. Thank you, baby. My dream life has less to do with spending money and more to do with fulfilling my purpose. Because when you're fulfilling your purpose, God adds everything to you that you need. So So I didn't mind that I haven't been shopping. I don't mind that I don't have name brand shit. And I don't care. Because a lot of times I'll be like, that is a waste of money. Now, I will spend some money on a good heel, because a good heel needs to be a good heel. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't feel the need to spend money to spend it. I don't. And you know what? My dad instilled that in us, because my dad used to be like, all right, so you see that shirt? Because my dad used to be in our heads, right? That shirt cost $300 because it got a little emblem on it that say Polo. So now the shirt costs $300. But it's the same shirt over here for $5 that don't have the emblem on it, right? So I kind of always was raised with that mindset that, like, okay, it's okay to spend money on good quality shit, but spending money just to say you spent it, spending money just to say it's name brand, like, nah, like, I'm not a name brand whore. None of my, like, I'm not a name brand whore, like, period. And I don't mind being honest, because I know I'm a bad bitch. And I know every time y'all see me, I look dope, and I don't got to chase name brands. I don't got to spend the most money. I don't always got to be shopping. Like, I mean, I want to worry about shit that's important. Like, I want to build, like, it sounds corny, but I'd rather do shit that's going to invest into my future. And I feel like over the last year and a half, the investment that I made into my spiritual life was worth any of the money that I lost. The investment that I made into my spiritual life and my spirituality and my path was worth any of the money I lost. So for anybody that thought that they was going to see me crumble and fall because they tried to put obstacles and things in my way and fuck with my money and all of that kind of stuff, like, the investment that I made into my spirituality was worth any money that I lost. The investment that I made into my spirituality was worth any bullshit that I've gone through in my life. How about that? But especially in the last year or so. So I just want to encourage you guys that everything that you guys have gone through, especially, I'm going to say, because I know my shit started quarantine-ish, right? So anything from now, and we've been having many awakenings our whole life, right? Don't get it twisted. We've been having many awakenings our whole life. But now it's like boom, 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 because we're in the year of Aquarius, right? So it's like now everything is just happening quicker. The downloads is coming and we're just stepping out and operating like, yo, I'm going to just do it, right? But this last year or so, we've done a lot. We've made a lot of changes. The wool has been pulled off of our eyes about a lot of different people. And shit got real for a lot of us. But the lessons that we learned, the intuition that we built, the discernment that we built from not always having the best people in our space and in our vicinity, right? Is priceless. It's priceless. Like, there's certain things that we have gained in this last year, and I'm going to end on that. Guys, make sure y'all watch the replay. We talked about the 5 love languages, the importance of your bucket list. What else we talk about? Energy vampires, the importance of protecting yourself sexually, because some people are here just to be energy vampires and to take your good energy to offset their karma. So we really want to be careful with that. Guard your heart, guard your energy. You know, it's a goddess summer. But you know, everybody don't deserve your time, your energy, and they definitely don't deserve your sacral energy, your root energy, right? They definitely don't deserve your intimacy, right? So we out here being love and light, but we are definitely putting great boundaries in place to guard this beautiful oil that God has poured into our vessels, right? So I just want to encourage you guys. I want y'all to go online and do the 5 love languages quiz, so you can find out what your love language is, and you can be sitting there talking with your honey bunny about love languages and shit. Because I feel like that's the stuff you should be doing while you're dating, right? We playing footsies under the table, we drinking wine, we talk about our love languages, and then we kissing. Then we going to kiss. Y'all know Y'all know my wine kicking in because now I'm about to start drunk live, and when I be drunk live, and then I get in love, right? So yeah, so I want y'all to be talking about y'all love languages with y'all mate, so y'all can be loving on y'all mate in the language that they need, right? I want you to speak that language that they need. I want you to speak that body talk, right? But it's more than physical, right? So we talked about the 5 love languages. We talked about silly things that women say when they're intimidated by you, but really people should be focusing on what matters most, right? What else we talk about? The importance of your bucket list. And that was it, y'all. Oh, and conflict resolution in pre-K. And how when we raise... Girl, right? Because it's like the older you get... Yo, I feel like... Because the thing is... Your love language changes sometimes. Like, as you get older, it changes. And I feel like as you go through certain things in life, your love language changes. Because mine was acts of service. But at one point, it was like a 50-50 toss-up between acts of service and, like, words of affirmation. You know what I mean? But, yeah, you know what, Akeisha? It's so funny you said that. Because I was kind of thinking about that before I went on. And I was like, yo, when I get with my boo... I'm trying to, yeah, like all of them, all 5, baby. I want all 5, and I'm going to give you all 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you all 7 of them. I'm going to make up some shit. But number 1 is words of affirmation. Speak life into me, sir. I know that's right, boo. Words of affirmation, like... And I always dated or married people that their love language was words of affirmation. So I am be loyal, right? Like, think like be chaste, right? Like, put the pussy on clank and don't let nobody else get none. Acts of service, that's an act. Loyalty is an act, right? So, just having their, just having their back, like being a person that, like, the things that you do really show that, like, yeah, like, they really fuck with them, like, they really love their mate, right? Beyond words, because anybody can talk a good game. Anybody can talk a good game, but, like, how you backing it up? How you gonna back it up? So, yeah, I love words of affirmation, because when your man speaks into you, that's a different kind of... Let's talk about it, Akeisha! That's a different kind of affirmation. When your man speaking to you, that's some different type of shit. Like, you feel like, yo, I got an S on my chest, yo! I got an S on my chest! Like, it's a different type of feeling, right? Like, you be like, I can do anything. I can take on anybody. I can do it all, right? So I love it, you guys, and I love y'all. Thanks for coming in here to hang out with me on QueenTv After Dark, where we are normalizing healthy, sexy relationships. How we doing that, y'all? By healing and shit. Digging deep into who it is that we are, so we can understand ourselves, so we can understand our mate. And matter of fact, understanding ourselves so we can just understand people in general better. Because healthy, sexy relationships, we need to have healthy romantic relationships and healthy family relationships. So that's why I love that little resolution conflict session that I saw in kindergarten today. Because if more children were emotionally intelligent, we would have more emotionally intelligent adults. And Lord knows that we need more of those, right? Because when you're emotionally intelligent, you're happy, you communicate well, you have healthy relationships, you have healthy boundaries, and you're confident. You're very confident in yourself, right? So I love y'all. Check out the replay. We talked about the importance of a bucket list, 5 love languages, silly shit that Philly bitches say. Protect your sacred energy. Watch for the energy vampires that want to steal your energy to offset their karma, because they ain't shit, they trash bags, right? Know who it is that you are so that your no's can get you all your yeses. How does that happen? Saying no to the things that we know we don't want allows room for the universe to bring in all the things that we do. So I love you, wonderful, beautiful, and amazing people. And I will check y'all out Pray in the morning.